Molu is a bankrupt ideological individual that doesn't have the span to welcome the best in this country. What you think when you talk about protest, you talk about the few handful of citizens that are passing around angry and looking for jobs, trying to recalibrate power? The government of Joseph Boakai is reckless. They don't know how to consolidate power. To consolidate power is to consolidate the people desire. You pass around and make Molu that pass around white Angoti and Goti as if he's a Messiah the people, and you want the people to look at you. But let me say, Boakai must be serious. Mr. Boakai needs to be serious. Insofar as Soup is around, insofar the party is here, we will not allow any contradictions go free. Those that want to protest on the guise of Mr. Molu, quote unquote, enough is enough. But this is the, like I said, it is disappointing. It is disappointing on what the police is doing to give Molu irrelevant, to make Molu appear as if he has had the country hostage. It tells you how unserious Boakai is. It tells you how unserious the Adio police is. Who is Molu? This is the reasons in the Student Unification Party, when you have read the theory of a grassroots mobilization, you will not be intimidated by a Molu that has no base, no grassroots base to move the people in this country. The protest on the 17th of July, we can say for free, is a nothing short speed. But why is the government so afraid? The government is afraid because the people will be waking up anytime soon, not by Molu, but by the consciousness that will be raised in the coming days by the Student Unification Party. We want to say this to Liberians. The government elected by Joseph Boakai has failed massively. This government...
Mana, yo. Boakai police, regular police, yo. Just now, say, intimidating the people, yo. A lot of people to express themselves freely, yo.
Under the guise of Mr. Boakai, the state is hell. Governance is in a worse stage. Soup will provide the necessary revolutionary direction. We don't look up to Molu. This is the reason all of the institutions that is endorsing the July 17 protests are masqueradings of the CDC. You have no independent institution because we know who Molu is. But for the government to tremble before a unserious man of Molu, one more when the Student Unification Party start to convert bases in this country, government will panic and will disappear in total destitution. Comrades, today is the birthday of the Secretary General of the Student Unification Party. We are not going to celebrate but to raise political and constitutional awareness. So we'll stop here, maybe to entertain any question if there will be any.
So you are for Davis Liberia. You stand to be a very controversial woman. And at a certain point in time, you said it is the right of people to assemble and protest. And at a certain point in time, you try to denigrate the same thing that you said that it's a right of women to assemble a petition.
As we leaving from here, you know, many things took place during the war and still existing. And King Pharaoh got behind the Israelites. They left in the Red Sea and declared, and the people and declare and decree, and the people behind us, they shall live in the Red Sea in the name of Jesus. Victory for judgment we are. Victory for judgment we are. God will make it strong. Mommy is Mother Rebecca Bar. I'm speaking like the servant of God. As I'm speaking now, this place in the name of Jesus, it shall be their place. In Jesus' name, in Jesus' name, judgment we are. Stand strong. Stand strong. Because you are God's servant. You get a fear of God. See how many things John did, good things that he did in the nation. But it shall be cast to the evil people. It shall be cast to Jeremiah Kun. It shall be cast to Joseph Boakai. It shall be cast to the so-called Catherine Coleman.
Amen.
They will vanish.
Amen.
This is the end.
Amen.
In Jesus' name. Never bow. So, Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, as I decree and declare, let your word stand still. I want you to strengthen your son because that man, he is the son of God. So we asking you in the name of Jesus that you strengthen him more and more. You bless him more and more.
Yeah. Umaru.
Yes, we
Umaru.
going on now.
Okay, Grace is going to call you. Please call the call, yeah?
Miguel.
Yeah, so let me say good evening to everyone, and thanks for joining the show tonight. As much as is a little bit a tough one to say good evening to all of you for joining us tonight on the program The Round Table, and we also like to apologize for coming in a bit late because of some technical problem. We are still trying to fix that beyond our control. Actually, I don't know if your camera is on, but we can. Let me say good evening to you, Mr. Abu, and welcome to this week presentation of the program.
Thank you, and just good evening to you, and good evening to our viewers and listeners out there. This is Waste TV. My name is Samuel Abu, and I think, Archibald, we are not seeing your face. If there's any way you can just switch your camera on, we're going to be discussing very, very, very beautiful events tonight, very beautiful things that have to do with our country, that will have to do with Liberia, push Liberia forward. And let's see what we're going to discuss. And thank you to Willem for bringing me on, and we look forward to the best of show tonight.
You see me on
Okay, thank you so much. We still not seeing you. Let me see if I can see that on the live as well. But again, let me say welcome to the
David added me on
program.
it.
You are
You are
already
here. You
you
are
are
on.
already in Archibald. You are in, but you just need to switch your camera on.
My camera is actually
There's something there looking like a video. If it has a line drawn through it, just click on it.
Let's see. Actually, you can let me send the link back to you and see if you can get back in the studio, and then we can move from there. Okay. Okay.
He
I
said
don't
about
know if
he's still not on.
oh I don't know.
so
Okay.
you try,
Okay.
you try.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So
better
you
now.
do.
It's better.
Actually,
So,
how are you?
Mr. Abu, you
I'm
can.
getting
Yes, I can
I'm
see him. I
fine.
can see him. How are you tonight?
I'm
Hi.
fine. You?
I'm fine. Where are you? In Monrovia?
No, I'm in Takata, Magibi County,
Oh, you in
the
Kakata
capital city of
Magibi County. Kakata Magibi County. I see you're an instructor of government and history at Booker Washington Institute in Magibi County.
yes, sir.
William, if you can just give us a roundup of what are we discussing tonight, and let's see so we can have our viewers, know
So
exactly what we're gonna run to.
basically, tonight we're gonna talk about a couple of issues surrounding the education system, where Mr. Archie Bourgeois has been in the educational sector for quite a long time. So we're gonna look at issues surrounding WAS resort of recent. We're also gonna look at the resort from the UL entrance exam as well, and looking at several other challenges and factors that surrounding the education system in Liberia. And Archie will also be giving his own view and what he thinks as a classroom teacher who is also imparting knowledge into students within Liberia, and what are some of the things the government will be able to do to be able to fix these challenges and having a better education system in our country. So if you're joining us, we like to say stay tuned. We definitely going to have a great conversation tonight and a better discussion. Let me say good evening to you, Chief Archie Boy, and welcome to the roundtable.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I'm humbled to be in this platform this evening. I'm sorry I was almost caught up asleep because I was there for the time so long, and but I received a text message through my WhatsApp that there was few problems we should be resolving. It's good to be here. I'm happy to be here with about education is about Liberia, the forward march Liberia. It's something that you even wake up in the middle of the night to discuss that. So thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on, Chief. And let's let's kickstart. I don't know if Mr. Abu wants to ask, but I would like to ask firstly, how long have you been in the classroom as an instructor, and how is it, being able to impart knowledge into people from diverse background and making them a better person and better for society?
But William,
Okay.
why can't we just ask Archie, Mr. Dwayu, to just introduce himself? Tell us who is Mr. Dwayu.
Yeah, that could be good too.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, let me do that. Thank you so much. My name is Achibodi Dwayu. I'm a Liberian and I've been into the educational area for about 11 years practically teaching. I hold a bachelor degree in public administration and economics minor from the University of Liberia, and I have been practically teaching in the social sciences for over 10 years now. I started practically teaching in 2014 when I graduated from high school back then as a valedictorian of my class back then in Language High School in 2014. So being one of the smart students and graduating as a boost of the institutions, I was called back to render a voluntary services to the institution, giving back to what I've learned over the years. That's how I practically entered the teaching field, and I through tutorship, mentorship from people who have taught me over the years, I've grown to be an independent, self-reliance and vibrant instructor over the years, teaching the social sciences. Back then in high school, I was a pure science student who had a very high strength in the sciences, which includes physics, chemistry, biology, and mathematics as well. But going at the university level and practically teaching, I've been teaching the social sciences for about a decade now, which is 10 years, about 10 years now. So currently, I'm teaching some high schools and notable high schools in Liberia County. I'm currently teaching government and history at the Booker Washington Institute. I'm teaching history at the St. Paul's Lutheran High School in Kakata. I'm also teaching history at the Giddis Polytechnic Academy. I've taught other high school like Langolete High School, Mo Vision, Olena Global Christian Foundation. I've taught the Jovi Gibson back then. And I've taught a lot of high school, and we have made an immense impact in the youth and student community, specifically through education. I have produced people now who have a bachelor degree like me today. Yeah, so yeah, I produce students who have a bachelor degree like me, have a bachelor degree now. Yeah.
Okay, I like this challenge you have. You have a wealth of experience, too many schools you have taught to, too many students you have been teaching, and many years you have been teaching. But today we're not looking at all of those things. One thing we want to discuss today, the educational system in Liberia. We don't want to discuss from first grade to 12th grade, first year to fourth year and graduating in a baccalaureate. Today, what we want to look at is the examinations. These are the evaluation that we give to the students after you guys have taught them in school, and we have seen that in recent years or even years back, we normally found out that the UL examination or the UL entrance examination was way back considered as a placement exam, which means it was intended that you have to be extremely clever to be able to enter the university. It's a matriculation where people are going to enter the university. You may be the best, you can graduate as valedictorian and you do not pass the exams. And we know that there are students that they have examination fear. They could be very clever in their high school. When it comes to public exam, they are not very good at it and they fail. So many people in the past will say, oh, the early entrance, they cheat. John did not pass. You have to know somebody at the university before you pass. But now, we're going to come to that later. The first one is that you are teaching history and government at one of the renowned high schools, which was way back sometime they were thinking about making it into a university, the Booker Washington Institute, Bowie. Now, that's a very great thing you are doing. So, why are too many students not doing very well in the national exam they call WAS? Give me your own view on it.
Thank you so much. Practically, most of my examples will be tailor-made to the subject that I teach, because it is a curriculum that I use to teach. Back then, we were doing white. And if you look at the structure of our library curriculum, they are reversed the curriculum, yes, but the curriculum is being tailor-made in a white format, the white format. And now we have transitioned from white to WAS. And WAS is an absolutely different test structure. There's a different question structure. There is a different structure of the entire test of WAS, which is absolutely a slight different from the white. If you look at the curriculum we currently have, our curriculum hasn't been upgraded to the standard of the WAS. Now, there's a conflicting thing the education system in Liberia is faced with now. Yes, the WAS syllabus is a slight bit different from the Liberian national curriculum that we are using to teach in the various high schools. That's one. Most besides, the teachers in the various areas of discipline are not being trained to the WAS curriculum to be able to fit in the essence of preparing students for the WAS. Because come to think about this, if you are preparing people, you are preparing students for a test, and you yourself as an instructor, you are not also trained and prepared for such tests, definitely those students you are preparing, they are bound to fail. They are absolutely bound to fail. Because there is a slogan that comes about in the teaching thesis that says that he who fails to prepare prepares to fail. So this is my conflict with the system of our education, specifically with the curriculum we have, and that the WAS syllabus. They are absolutely slightly different. So if a teacher that is teaching a pure high school focuses only on the Liberian national curriculum, you will be teaching the students, and most of them will go for the national exam, and they will not see things that you taught them. So the best way you can do it as an instructor who has some expertise in the field, you have to intersperse the WAS syllabus with that of the national curriculum. There are things in our national curriculum specifically for the subject I teach, which is history. There are things in our curriculum now that we no longer teach in high school, and that is the curriculum has to be reversed. Our education system, we have a system which was back then, the curriculum was being tailor-made back then for a system of white, and we have transitioned to WAS, and we still using the same curriculum. We are still using textbooks that are white structure, and we have come to WAS. That's like I said. And more besides, the teachers that are preparing the students are not trained up to the level, up to the task. They are not equipped to prepare the students to massively perform in a WAS exam. So these are some of the problems that the system is being faced with. The problem is not basically the students. The problem is the system. The system has a problem.
Okay, I agree with you, and I want to listen to you more. You said there is a difference between the curriculum,
WAS,
which was
WAS,
which is now WAS, and the curriculum,
mhm,
the past curriculum, which was a curriculum that was for WASI, right? Or
white,
for WAEC, for WAEC.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What are some of those differences in your own specific government area?
Okay, Labrador do not do government in WAS, but they do history. Let me come to history. There are topics, especially in 10th grade. Let me take 10th grade for instance. In 10th grade, you will see topic like ancient Greece. You will see topic like the Egyptian, the ancient Egypt. You will see topic like the Monotapa Empire. You will see topic like the ancient Ghana Empire, which are important, right? You will see topics about the Kelebolu Empire in history specifically. Now, if you check the WAS syllabus, in the WAS syllabus, you will see topic like the Trans-Saharan trade. You will see topic like Islam in West Africa, which are not in our curriculum. Most of those topics in the WAS syllabus, quote me right, most of the topics in the WAS syllabus, they are not in our national curriculum for history as well. If you go to 12th grade, there are few topics like the first Liberian Civil War, which is one of the topics that is being drawn in the essay portion of the WAS history. But most of the topics that are there, they are not in line with the WAS syllabus for history. If you want to do a background check, just take the national curriculum for history for WAS and take the WAS syllabus for history, and you will compare and contrast, and then you will know that there is a slight difference. It is not why the difference is not why, but there's a slight difference between our national curriculum and that of the WAS syllabus. And WAS is not absolutely looking at the curriculum to draw their test. WAS is looking at their syllabus because it is their syllabus that they expected the students to know, and their tests are being drawn for the syllabus. So, as an expert person in the field of history, I have most often used the syllabus rather than basically throughout focusing on the curriculum. This has been the reason why most of my students that I've taught in history in WAS, they have always made a successful pass in coming up with credits. The less of
So,
BWR, yeah.
so then I will also want to come in to find out most of the items or the questions that come in the national exam or in WAS are prepared or submitted by teachers like you or teachers who are teaching 12th grade in many of the other schools. Are you aware of this?
I am not very aware of this and how the question is being drawn and how the question is being collected, what you're trying to prepare for the students. I've heard such information or such, but I haven't seen anyone,
Not a
I
BWI?
haven't heard a teacher like myself saying I will do. I haven't.
Okay, then we come in. I think you are more concerned about either the WAEC office, which is the West African Examiner Council office, to have, and the Ministry of Education to have a collaborative training of teachers
And
or
which part of
workshop
curriculum?
of the teachers or in various regions of the country, in
Exactly.
various schools, to teach you people the curriculum and make sure that
Uh-huh.
the district education, the county education officers follow up the teachers to make sure that this particular curriculum is followed. Because
That's my
sometimes,
point.
because sometimes some people teach the curriculum and some people
Mhm.
prepare, because some schools decide to teach the students based on the curriculum focused at the
Exactly.
examination that they are going to take in 12th grade, because we are
Uh-huh.
very much aware that exam is not only for something that you do in 12th grade, it is something that is evaluating you from first grade straight through 12th grade. Okay? So
Okay.
other schools will be teaching students just for students to know and not really preparing the students for an exam.
For
Is
the
this
last
the case that happened?
that person. Yes, that's one of the problems. Now you are teaching students, and the first and foremost thing is that there's an international standard test that the students are being prepared for. And basically, most often the white or the WAS exam now is a test to test the ability, like you said rightly, to test the ability of the students that all the years from first grade to 12th grade, all of those things you have been doing, let us now test your ability to know, what you have learned. We want to access, we want to evaluate you as a student. And now you come to know that throughout the years the student have been in school, they have been learning things on what the teacher know. And most often now, let me tell you one of the shocking thing. Most of those that you find in the field teaching, they are not experts in the area they are teaching. You will find an agriculturist teaching students history. You will find somebody who did or literature, or somebody who did English is teaching students history. I'm using history as a case study because I'm a history instructor. So people are being misplaced in the entire teaching area. That's one of the problems. People are being misplaced. People just want to be somewhere there, yeah, and just want to be doing something. But institutions, the ministry, white itself, they are not scrutinizing and supervising as to whether those that are in the classroom, those that are teaching the material, they are actually teaching the student to prepare them for the national exam. Because we are competing with other countries like the likes of Ghana, the likes of Nigeria, the Gambia, Sierra Leone. These are countries that are written in wax, the Anglophone countries. We are competing with them, and those countries are inland. Now let me give you something that is very shocking. For history, the objective part of the test is original test. The objective part of the test, original test, in a sense that all of the countries that are written was in West Africa, the Anglophone country, which is Liberia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Nigeria, and the Gambia, the first country that are written was the Anglophone country in West Africa that are written was. The history objective test is original test, that is, all of the first countries that are written in WAS exam, they are doing the same objective test. Now, but the question is, all of the five countries, are they doing the same topic in the WAS curriculum to be prepared for the objective that all the five countries are doing? My answer is no. So you will find out that the performance of students in Ghana, the performance of students in Liberia will be quite different. If it is a merit-based exam, we are on the first skill. You getting that right? You will have that disparity between students schools from Liberia and students schools from Ghana, Nigeria, other countries that are on with the one syllable, contrary to students that are in Liberia. I'm talking about on a merit based, a free test that is free for examination by practice, that the student did themselves, a merit based test. You will find out that students in Liberia will be on a contrary score as compared to students in Ghana, Nigeria, the Gambia, Sierra Leone, when it comes to the test structure.
But then, if you talk about this text structure, let's say you say history, for example, is regional based. When you say regional based, is it that they are asking questions on a general level, the history of Nigeria, history of Sierra Leone, the history of the five
No, no,
countries
no, no,
that they expect you to
no,
teach,
no,
want you to teach the history of
no,
Liberia?
no. I say again, I repeat myself. The history test divided into two. They
Okay,
have the objective and the essay.
and the
I am
essay.
saying the objective portion of the test. It is the test that is given to the first country that is written was in history. So they
Okay,
are expecting all of the first countries in West Africa written history to do the same topic that these questions are being drawn from in history for objective. That's what
okay.
I'm saying.
And what are the
So any
specific
country,
topics in
and,
the objective?
Here are some of the topic. One of the some of the topic is the trans-Saharan trade,
Okay.
the historiography and introduction to African history. You have Islam in West Africa. You have colonialism in Africa. You have European explorations in Africa. You have European partitioning of Africa, the Berlin Conference. Those are topics. Military rules in Africa. You have problem of independence in Africa. Those are some of the topics that was generally asked for all the 5 countries in the objective. As for the essay portion of the test, is given on the basis of your own country. For example, students in Liberia will do only Liberian history for essay. Students in Ghana will only do Ghana history for essay. Students in Sierra Leone will only do Sierra Leone history for essay. So in Liberia, our essay test will only be restricted to our Liberian history. But for the objective, it is not restricted to only Liberian history, it's a general test. That's what I'm saying.
Now let's come to textbooks. Do we have specific textbooks that students will have to use, or you teachers have to use to teach the students to be able to focus them on the exams?
Yes, there are specific textbooks. One of those textbooks is West African History for Was Kennedy. It was written by Ghanaians and Nigerian writers. That's one of the history books.
Is it available on the library market?
It is available. I have one. If I can go, I will just put it on the screen and you see that.
I just want to say if it is available.
It is available. It's a bit expensive, but it's hard to find. It is scarce and expensive.
It's not available. It is there.
Yeah, actually, it's not available. It is not affordable to get. Okay. It is scarce. It's difficult to get as well. It's very difficult. Most of the books are being purchased in Ghana. They are being purchased in Sierra Leone. There where you're able to find these books. Because in these countries, when you are doing subject, you buy the subject as per your class. You buy all the non-subject. These are the books you use in the entire 10th grade, for example. But for in Liberia, it is absolutely different. So most of the teachers, even that are teaching the students, do not have the textbooks.
So some of them do research in other areas and
areas and teach the students what they know.
Let's come to this essay area in the Liberian history. Do we consider the war in Liberia as a historical aspect? Are these questions coming from those kind of things?
It's one of the key topics. There are three sections in the history essay for us. Section A, which is the general topic for section A, it's Liberia from the earliest time to the 19th century. Section B is Liberia in the 19th century or in the 1800s, because 1800 in history is the same as 19th century. And the last portion of the theory is section C for the essay history Liberia is issue pertaining to Liberia from the 1900 to the 2000s. Because from the 1900 to the 2000, there where you had a civil war. The first Liberian Civil War, the second Liberian Civil War, the April 12, 1980 coup d'etat, the April 14, 1979 West Riot, etc. and etc.
And in that particular one, who wrote the book for that particular one?
The history for the Liberian Civil War. There are three history books that we use in senior high division that are written by the late Joseph Seyi Guano. A short history of the Fourth Liberian Republic. It is written by Joseph Seyi Guano. Liberian history up to 1847 was written by Joseph Seyi Guano. Liberian history since 1980 was also written by Joseph Seyi Guano. Those are important books for the essay portion of WAS. That book, he actually did well to write those books. They are actually helpful to the essence of the WAS. So once an instructor uses these three books that I talked about, also, it will give you more understanding about engaging the WAS when it comes to the structure of the WAS. Now, in the topic specifically for the first and second Liberian Civil War, the April 12, 1980 coup d'etat, the April 14, 1979 West Riot, you can find it in Liberian history since 1980. There where you find those topics. And that particular topic, questions are drawn in the essay from specifically section C of the essay test.
Okay. Yeah. Now let's come to teachers. First, before I go there, when the curriculum is drawn, do they recommend books that you need? I mean, because they will have a series of books that you as a school will decide to use this book and this book and this book, to prepare your students. Do they have books recommended for the curriculum?
They have recommended books in the curriculum. It is being prepared that way. They will have recommended books to use. They will get sources where you can get the information from. Now, most teachers, one of the problems here is that I come back to that. The curriculum back then were prepared for white. So most of the books that are there, they are not seen around now. Most of the books you have that are to be used in that particular curriculum, those are books, and it will shock you to know that the book that I'm talking about, the history for the West African history for Was Kennedy, it is not one of the books recommended in our curriculum. It is not one of them. It is not there. It is because the time the curriculum was prepared, by that time we never had Was. And this book specifically was written for Was. And that book is not one of the recommended books in the history curriculum. It is not one of them.
Okay.
So if you use those books in the curriculum that are recommended, those recommended books, some of them they are outdated material. They are updated absolutely.
Now let's look at the teachers. You think you told me earlier that most of the teachers are being either misplaced or displaced. Somebody who studied agriculture is busy teaching chemistry. Somebody who did history is busy teaching English and all of these things. Okay, how do you think we can solve some of these problems? Because this is telling me that the students are not prepared by the right group of people, where we are saying if you prepare for fail, you fail. If you fail to prepare, you prepare for failure.
Yeah.
So how do you think we can solve some of these problems?
It's to go back to the drawing board. The Ministry of Education needs to be in close collaboration with WACS and entire educational stakeholders within Nigeria. We have to revise the Liberian curriculum. We have to revise the curriculum to fit in our current national activity and to fit in the current reality of the educational system that is unfolding. You cannot be having a curriculum that is being tailor-made for different exam, and you have a transition to a different exam and still be using that curriculum and expect yourself to get a different result. Like people say, you can't keep doing the same thing over and over and expect different result. No, you must change the way you do it and get a different result. So we have to go back to the drawing board. The Ministry of Education with WAS have to come out and go about looking for expertise in those various subject areas and have a committee set up, and the entire stakeholder have to take charge of it. The government along with WAS, because WAS is an entity, they are now being solely under the government is an entity within West Africa. So they have to work collaboratively to see how best we can revise some things, not all now, right? I get you right. There are some topics in the curriculum is okay, it's in line, but there are some topics that has to be out of track. So sometimes the teacher wants to go by the curriculum, you will be error preparing the student for different things and thinking preparing them for class. So we have to go back to the drawing board. WAS, along with the national government educational stakeholder, we have to go back to the drawing board and see how best we can be able to review the curriculum, review our textbooks that are on the market that are being used by teachers and students to be able to fit with the current reality we have. Now, I can tell you for free, when it comes to Liberian history, especially in Liberia, most of our information is not written. You don't find it. You don't find it. There are lots of information about Liberian history that you do not have books. In time past, when Manaseri was in power, the Ministry of Education distributed books to various schools. Even up to now, they are distributing books to the various schools. But it was shocking to know that all of the books they keep distributing, there is no book there for history.
But then, the Ministry of Education comes in and say, well, most of the teachers are not qualified. They want to do an audit of the various teachers. What will it do to the educational system? Because we are finding, just according to your own statement, geography at Edu or whatever university, Then they are outside there teaching literature. They do all of these square pegs put in round holes. Those are the things that are happening. So there'll be a lot of gap in the end. So if the government decides to do, let's say, qualification audit, because we know that with the existence of the past World Trade Center, there are people who come, they go in the rural areas and say they graduated from LU, and they go to get papers and come, they are put there. And some of the schools in the rural areas, some of are really, looking for qualified teachers, looking for teachers first. So anybody that comes in, they take them. Now, if the ministry decides to do a qualification audit, they'll find out that many people will be trashed out of the system. Then what happens? It becomes a vulnerable situation on the students and on the schools. The schools that can pay good money, they will be able to get the certified teachers and the best teachers now.
Yeah, but do you
think this will be a good way to start a system?
I recommend a credential audit. That's a good process to start a system. Now, let me tell you, there are lots, like I said, I repeat myself, there are lots of people in the classroom only because they want to have something doing and they are just there. Some of them are displaced in the classroom. Some of them are misplaced in the classroom. Some of them do not even understand the philosophy or the pedagogy of teaching to even transmit knowledge to people. But because they want to have an ends means, so they find themselves in the classroom, like I said, some of them will do SYZ stuff in the university, and you'll find them teaching different stuff at high school level. So definitely that person will not come up with a fullest potential. I recommend a credential audit. I refer to that as credential audit. That the government carry on credential audit in all of the institutions in Liberia. I don't know how the entire ministry is doing that, because before a school register, you will come up with the name of all of your personnel and staff with that credential. If John Brown, for example, Achibo Dwayo is teaching history and government, what is the credential of Achibo Dwayo? Achibo Dwayo is teaching history and government. Achibo Dwayo have a degree in agriculture. What's the possibility of that? That's one thing. Achibo Dwayo have a degree in agriculture. Achibo Dwayo have a degree in English. Achibo Dwayo have a degree in literature. How can a literature person teach history and government effectively? I thought someone who have a degree maybe in demography or have a geography degree, because they are all social sciences, right? Or somebody who have an economic degree or public administration or history itself should be teaching the social sciences. Somebody who in the social science area can be able to try in the social sciences, but not somebody from an applied science or somebody from a pure science is teaching a social science. That's been misplaced. That's absolutely been misplaced. So I recommend that the government do credential audit. Now, here is it. When you want to have the best, you need to do the right thing to have the best. If the government would think that schools will be all of public schools, the government will not go out of people. The government had the 0 hour TTR. They have the 0 hour TTR, they have the K-hour TTR, and you have the 0 TTRs around the country that are training teachers. Even the lecture, La Cose is also training teachers. The Tubman College at the University of Liberia, the Teachers College, they are also producing teachers. So what you do is to be able to revamp the system. You go and do a credential audit. Even in the public school, it will shock you to know there are people in public school, in a government-run school, their own government pay you, and up to now, they are still operating on a C certificate teaching the senior high level. It will shock you to know. It will shock you to know that people with diploma, a mere high school diploma, are preparing people for high school diploma. You know that in a college, a BSc person can teach somebody up to senior level to prepare them for BSc. Because you have a limitation, right?
I think this is what is responsible for students putting money together at the end of the year, because they are poorly being prepared and putting money together for, how you call it, facilitating.
It's called flexibility fees.
Flexibility fees. And what is that flexibility they talk about? I know you are not doing it, but you can just explain why.
Let me talk about it. That's just a way for the institution or the sponsor involved, because most of the club classes or the senior classes is being headed by a person called sponsor and administration put in charge of the students as a supervisor. That flexibility is something, it's a way to just get money from the students, and most of them they are not realistic. There are most schools that are collected the flexibility, and the students feel massively, read my lips. There's a school in Kakata, there's a public school in Kakata, and there are rumors circulating that the student collected flexibility fee to certain amount, over 3,000 United States dollar, given to his sponsor. But it would shock you to know that that school that have over 400 students, they massively fail, So the
So
flexibility,
what does the flexibility, what it be? Are they saying that the invigilators must be flexible when they see them spying, they shouldn't disqualify them and this and that? Is that what it is?
the flexibility is to create a means where, yeah, like you see,
You give blind,
there was a,
you give blind eyes to, you give blind eyes to whatever they do in
you
the
are
mouth.
not seeing it. Yeah, you are not seeing it. You ignore them. You help them. If they are cheating, right? If they are cheating, you allow them cheat. If you catch any foreign material that is against the exam, you allow them to do it because they are made more flexible. You know, when things are
Because we have
flexible,
been paid.
is flexible, right? You are being paid, you are being grabbed, you are being given an amount. And that's not realistic in honesty. It's not realistic. Most of the students that you find failing, they pay flexibility fee, but they still fail.
But why
Another
can't
thing is,
we use this flexibility fee to have additional or extra classes for the students
okay,
so that they can
another
prepare
problem.
them better?
Most of the schools can have extra classes. The students who have another problem in that particular area. The students depend on the flexibility so that most of them don't attend the extra classes. Most of the schools can have extra classes, hire people like BWR. Let me use BWR as a case study. BWR, the student don't pay for flexibility. The student don't pay extra class fee. Support Literacy, the student do not pay extra class fees. Now, the school take the responsibility of paying the teacher to go and teach them for extra class, for extra activity. It will shock you to know that the students themselves, they don't take the extra classes seriously because they have engulfed the mindset that they will get involved into examination malpractices in the name of we pay flexibility fees. There is no need to hear what he, the test will lead, will get answer, will get borrow, will get foreign material and carry in the hall and will cheat, carry on examination malpractices. So most often they don't take the extra classes seriously. I tell you, I have taught many extra classes. There came a time BWR closed the extra class. The students stopped attending extra classes. The students themselves have their own problem. They are so used to the bad thing because that's an easy way to ride for them. Most of them you see flying around with results, passing with looking at good marks, they post it on the Facebook and they're celebrating. They don't deserve the results. They do not merit those results. Some of the results, they were results that were bought. They were results that were bought into examination malpractices. They don't deserve it. Some of them do not deserve the results. But on the basis of the same flexibility, and they allow them to cheat, they allow them to use foreign material, and they make the test to look as if to say they did the test themselves.
Okay, let's talk about something. I was a teacher before, and
Yeah.
I did teach mathematics. I graduated. My first degree was in mathematics, and we see that students come to 10th grade. I was strictly teaching senior high school. Students come to 10th grade. They are really not prepared for 10th grade. So as a matter of fact, because what you learn in the junior high is what helps you to the senior high. You come to the senior high school, we're not going to reteach you what you were supposed to learn in 9th grade because the curriculum, especially preparing for the national exam or for the WAS, is really running out from 10th grade. So as a matter of fact, if you did not know some of these things that you should have learned in 9th grade, you are going to really not going to be able to learn it in 10th grade because you cannot start the ladder from the center. You start from the bottom. I taught mathematics, A student comes in 10th grade and wouldn't be able to do a simple addition of fractions.
Exactly. That's the problem.
Simple
Foundational problem.
percentage, price, and percentage, they wouldn't do it. So how are you going to, because of these kind of things, I know it delays you people, the teachers, because you're trying to bring them back up to standard, so that before you can even start teaching the curriculum for the grade.
You can't follow with sometimes.
They can't catch up with you. Now let me ask you, do you people really have enough time to teach to exhaust this curriculum?
Most of the topics, most of the periods, the way the curriculum is being structured in the periodic first, second, third, fourth period. Sometimes the time is short to be able to exhaust the topic within a particular period. Sometimes they give 30 days, 35 days, some of them 45 days. But it will shock you to know that you are teaching a class and the curriculum is being tailored in a way that the time for each of the period are not equal. The days, that the instructional days are not equal.
Okay.
You get first
looking at the several holidays that we have in Liberia, then the color day, the sports day.
The instructional days are not distributed equally among the various periods. That's another problem I see. Because you can't tell me first period lesson is longer than the other period. Like you give first period 45 instructional day. Then you come to second period, you say second period lesson is 30 instructional day. What's your yardstick used to measure that?
And the curriculum is not really tailored to that. The same curriculum for first period is the same curriculum that you have to. I mean, it's a continuation of the curriculum with almost similar number of topics that should have been done.
The tabulations of the various instructional days for the various period is being done by the Ministry of Education. I try to get how they go about doing that. I don't understand that. I don't really understand that. The ministry, I think the ministry have to come up and see what the reason they attach or they allocated 45 days to first period and they look at third period or second period and give 20 days in SYZ. I don't know. And the same curriculum is being used in time.
Do you sometimes get frustrated?
Exactly. Sometimes I can get disappointed, but most of when I especially the curriculum is one of the problems we have. It's one of the problems we have. The system itself, but the curriculum, which is the working tool, because the curriculum is a guide for us, the teacher. Just like we will have our lesson plan as a guide. So we play our lesson from the curriculum. So the way you play is the way you teach. And why you play and why you teach. You don't teach what you do not play. A teacher that play will teach what he play. So what we play for the curriculum is exactly what we need to teach. So if the curriculum is not structured well, our teaching will not also be structured well. If the curriculum is not prepared well, our teaching will not also be prepared well. If the curriculum is not in line with what is in the WAS syllabus, we will not also be in line with WAS material. So the student will not also be prepared.
At Bogart Washington Institute, do we sometimes have Teachers' Day reviewing curriculum just among the teachers and department heads, where you are being audited to make sure that you are following the curriculum by the vice principal or the vice something for instruction, and then your department head to make sure that you are going according to the curriculum? Do they do this audit based on your lesson plan? Oh, it's stuck.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I don't know what's the problem.
This is an interesting topic. We're getting a lot of information,
Yeah. I just hope if Archie Boy is there, he can be able to join us. And
yes, because I was just about to talk about the UL entrance. How come the students take this and they come to the UL entrance? Because we expect people who are fresh graduating from high school should be among the highest number of people who could pass the UL entrance. Because as they come out, they are coming along with reseaters, people who have taken that exam several years.
I think he's back.
Oh, Archie, welcome back. I was just trying to talk about this University of Liberia entrance, why you think so many students are failing? It's only math and English. Stuck again.
Sometimes I think sometimes it's because of the network, but all of the information that is given out here by
Hello?
yeah, welcome.
Okay. When it comes to your entrance, I wrote your entrance once back then in 2016. I just passed one time. I wrote the test. I passed one time. The test is very easy. The test is also multiple choice. The test structure does not change the math in English. Uh, there's a system error at UL. To be honest, in my fair opinion, you have some system error when it comes to the admission of students in the University of Liberia. Because come to think about this, Mr. Abu, come to think about this. How a student, there are students who fail in the university entrance that get a very good marks in WAS that is difficult than the UL entrance. You getting that? There are students who make a very good grades in WAS and they fail UL entrance that is far more less than WAS. WAS is harder than UL entrance. Students will pass in WAS with good scores and good credit marks, and then will go and fail UL entrance. In my opinion, there's a system error, but it's most often it is administrative. But the institution who come out bluntly to say there's a problem in SYC. Here, come to think about this. You are, for example, a minister or entrance to over 200,000, over 20,000 students, freshman student. We mean there will be a freshman student, right?
Yeah.
But UF does not have the capacity to host 20,000 freshman students. They do not have the capacity.
That's what makes it
That's
a placement. That's what makes it a placement.
That's a placement.
Not an,
They do not have
it's not evaluation. It's a placement exam.
exactly. It is
Okay,
meant
I don't want you to contradict yourself. When students make very good grades, they're making 1, 2, 1, 2 in all of their 9 subjects, and they go to fail the UL entrance. There's something they call, exam fear, fear of exams. And looking at the University of Liberia, you go to take the exam, sometimes at the exam center, you people are almost 10,000 or let's say 2,000. You're looking there, you're looking at your big uncle that graduated 10 years ago from school. You're looking at your small brother who just graduated 5 years ago. All of you are put together. Some people get confused. But then at the same time, you told me that some of those big grades that some people are making, sometimes it comes out of the flexibility situation. So some people can get a good grades, they got a flexibility, but they are not really prepared for LU because the main thing is they want to get a WAEC exam result, a good result. Some of them are true flexibility. They get a result. So when they come to LU gives them Huawei, So many of them would really not be there. But LU, I do understand. You took it one time, I took it one time too,
Yeah.
But a lot of people have the fear.
Yeah, I agree. There are factors responsible for the failures of student in your entry. There are factors. But in my fair opinion, there's some system error. I particularly see some students. It is because you will administer a placement test to over 20,000 students. Like, come to think about it, let me all factor constants. If all those 20,000 students, let's say is 19,000 students pass, UL does not have the capacity to accommodate 18,000 freshman students. They do not have the capacity.
Okay, now you say UL doesn't have that thing. That examination, that UL entrance, it is not quite an examination in its definition, but a placement test. A placement test. And looking at it, if they even take like how you people do the WAS, not all the time that they are saying that only when you make 90 to 100 that makes a mark of 90 to 100 that gives you 1, or 80 to 90 that makes you 1. they look at the overall result. So if everybody makes 50, sometimes the highest among the 5,000, the 10,000 people that take it, if somebody makes 50, that person did very well. That person, immediately they make an interval. You do some statistics. They make an interval that from 50 to 55 is a 1. 55 to this is this. Then they distribute it. So that's what happens also in looking at the school from the University of Liberia. So if the University of Liberia has already said, oh, we can only take 2,000 students in freshman class. So whether 50,000 take it, they are taking the best 2,000. This is why sometimes it's difficult for you to say that this is why. So that becomes a placement examination and not just, a placement test, evaluation. So you can be very clever, you make mistakes and all of these things in a multiple choice. Let's say, for example, there are only few students that will get do they still have the big five in the mathematics? There's something they call the big five, right? In mathematics, after the multiple choice, five subjects, 35 questions that you have to solve for, that you have to show the working in mathematics. And also English, you have to write an essay, So some people will be good in literature, this. But when it comes to sentence and structure in English, they are not good at it. When it comes to mathematics, they're not good. So we will say that the universities sometimes, I'm not saying that they are 100% fair, but they have a structure, even though I know I do agree with you that there is a system error there too. Because just how it happens at the national exam level, the university exam, sometimes it leaks out. Exactly. There are malpractices. Nobody will tell me because I have seen as many times they are investigating people for malpractices during that entrance exam or during that exam. So there are malpractices there. But to actually say everybody will take it in, that number will stay fair because the university is taking the number of people that they need for the year. Even though
that's where I was driving to. So like I said, they have an interval. So they go for those they want. So the number, like you have said, this is where I want to drop. The university will administer entry into 50,000 people. But they are going for, all the 50,000, we want the best 3,000 on the 50,000. So they have a target. You have a target. That's why I was driving to. So no matter what, the result will always be that way. If the university want 30,000, if the university actually want 10,000, the university will have an interval. They will use a statistical interval to go for the best 10,000 or the 20,000. But since they are administering the test to 22,000 or 20 plus thousand, and they want the best 3,000, so they cannot limit the number to 5,000 to 6,000. They may not get the best. So they enlarge the number of intake that are doing a placement exam so that they can take the best 3,000 freshman students.
And for everyone to have a fair opportunity to participate. We won't stop you from taking the exam. As long as you can pay your money and you come, we will make it open and you pay it within the stipulated time. Once you can meet that time, you take the exam.
When I did your entering back there, let me tell you what I said. There's some system error. There is something called a challenge. People can challenge the test and they do not fail. They actually pass. And back then in 2016, 2017, there were a few of my colleagues that wrote the test according to the result they failed. And by then they used to challenge the test with $10 US. And all of those that challenge the test with the $10, it will shock you to know that the people said they passed. They admitted it in the system.
There would not be too many people. There would not be too many people who would do that. And among them, there are people who will challenge it. But when you challenge it, this is something that happens strategically. Okay, you have come and challenged it, but you know that we gave the test to 60,000 people when we really just needed 10,000 people, or we just needed 3,000 people. Now you may have good grades, you know, but those grades were not sufficient enough to put you on the qualification list, on the exam passing list, you know. But if you press it, we really know that you are a good student. And out of the 3,000 that we're going to publish that pass the exam, we know that there are many of them who will not even come, you know. So those people we put on a standby that you can bring them in once you have the time, and up to the time registration is going on, you can give them a letter to come and register, because you know that the 3,000 that you have qualified may not be able to come in. I hope you understand that.
I understand that.
So that is
now,
what most of the time. I know we have talked about too much about education. Next, maybe by Thursday again, I'll try to get somebody from WAS and maybe get a school principal, because we are still looking at where the problem is and how can we solve this problem. I will try to get the MCSS superintendent too, you know, because he runs a lot of schools. Let's see what they are doing. The teachers, are they qualified? Are the students being taught properly? Are the schools having the required resources to get the students? Then, if possible, we may even get a student to come and tell us, but the students normally have their own problems. They all want to blame someone for the system. But when the system is set, somebody from WAS, somebody from MCSS, somebody from maybe a private school, a school principal, you know.
Quickly, Mr. Abu, before we try to wrap up with Archibald, let me ask now, with all of what you said, what could you recommend to the government if I hear you I didn't hear any recommendation? What could you recommend in terms of making these systems better, especially from the national exam to the test, the entrance placement entrance at the University of Liberia? What could you recommend?
Let me say, let leave the university out, because once the system is set from the high school, definitely the student will get prepared to go and write the placement exam at the university. That's a different era. I recommended a few things in my deliberations. One of those things that I recommended was that there should be a revision of the curriculum. We should revisit the curriculum and make some amendment to the curriculum. If possible, we change something to fit into the standard of works in not YKD, to fit into the standard of works. And then we should also have those textbooks that are needed to be able to cope and prepare students for the WAS exam. Those textbooks should be available and accessible at anywhere, and affordable for schools, affordable for teachers, affordable for students. The ministry should be able to work along with WAS to be able to access and be able to provide the recommended textbooks. That's another thing. Another thing that the ministry itself has to do is the ministry has to do a credential audit. Like I said, people are being misplaced on the basis of, because they just want to be doing something. You will find out that agriculturists will be teaching geography and agriculturists will be teaching English. So people have to be placed into the area of their expertise. And more besides, there are people who may have gone to the teacher training, they may have gone to the RTTRs, but they still lack the competency to be able to provide knowledge and transmit information onto people. So the Ministry of Education, along with other educational stakeholders, can work along collaboratively with WIDE to making sure that to tailor-made the curriculum and be able to come up with those recommended and required textbooks that can be able to help to prepare the students. And also they should provide the capacity building for teachers as well. Because once the teacher is capacitated, definitely he or she will be equipped enough to be able to prepare another person for another process. You can't tell me that, for example, you do not have the capacity to be able to develop yourself and you want to develop another person. So the first thing, we should also have a capacity building for the teachers that are teaching the students to be able to pass. Because if we continue to depend on the essence of the flexibility to get involved with examination malpractice, it will shock you, brother, to know that teachers still follow students at the examination hall to go and answer the questions and give it to the students. And the students come up with flying color and think that the teacher has done so well. So the government has to do credential audit, like I said. We have to revisit our curriculum to make it to best suit the structure and the standard of WAS along with other countries around here. We need to have those textbooks, those recommended textbooks that other countries, the Anglophone countries are using to be able to fit in our own educational system as well, so that we can be able to cope and students can be able to do things that exactly in line with preparing them for WAS, so that there should be a system also to supervise and to be periodically going through to making sure a monitoring evaluation team can be set up to making sure that we are achieving our objective, because it will surprise you to know that the wax fee that is being paid by the government is a taxpayer money, and you cannot have the taxpayer money being used by government to pay student wax fee and you have a kind of massive failure. Once the student pass massively, it's a plus for the government, it's a plus for our education system. But I can tell you for free, with the level of the improvement, according to Mr. Debuto, the wife here that he said this year's result is better than the previous year. It's true, but yeah, we need to do more. We need to do more. And in doing more, we need to equip, we need to fix the system. We need to fix the system. It is the system that run the affairs of the educational activity in Liberia. So once the system is being fixed, when the system fixed, anybody can come in that system and operate in that system. We need to fix the system. There need to be an open system that anybody can see the system and know that this is good enough that can produce a very good result.
Okay, thank you so much, Chief Archie. I don't know if Mr. Abu have anything to say, but if you don't, then we can just have you giving us your concluding statement before we take leave of you. Mr. Abu, you
Okay,
have
thank
anything
you.
to say?
No.
Okay, Achibo, you can just give us your parting comments while we bid you a pleasant good night.
Okay, thank you so much. It's a pleasure again once more. I'm very humble to the WAS TV for this invite. I'm open at any time, at my convenient time, to discussing issue beyond education, be a national issue or issue of public concern. We will continue to provide our little man knowledge that we have. And it's a pleasure, Mr. Abu, to have such conversation with you. I really do admire this, and it was very interactive. And I do believe that people that are following, people that are listening, they will take these recommendations and concern into serious priority and make the maximum use of them. So our national government, our stakeholder, remember, Labrador is all we have. It is us Liberians that can make Labrador better, not anyone, not any country, not any national. So I say thank you again. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Achi, for coming on tonight and being part of this wonderful presentation. It's been a great discussion, and I
Oh,
also like. Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Abu.
no, I say it was a very great discussion. I mean, he talked the best he can talk, and I think he was just one of the persons that I really wanted to be discussing this as a teacher, preparing students for this. We only have to go to the higher ups. That is what he says, and we see how we can meet those people and talk, bring them on too, and let's talk about this because this is a sticky issue. This is Liberia. We have to talk about the educational system. If the educational system remains as it is, we will still keep producing people to go to the Capitol building who are not prepared. We'll keep producing people to go to the presidency not prepared. And we'll keep producing people that will go to every aspect of our country to run our country when they are actually not prepared. You cannot get on the ladder from the middle.
You
Okay?
cannot get on the ladder from the middle, and I don't know, but that's a good one, Mr. Abu. We almost out of time because we
All
started
right.
late.
Please just give us 15 minutes. Let's talk about the LDA man.
Yeah.
And please,
I was just about to say that I want to play the clip,
yeah,
and
play
then
that clip.
once we get back, we can talk about the situation there at the LDA.
So that
And
is it. Yeah, but then you can introduce it before you play the clip now.
yeah, so
It's,
we
it's about who?
we basically gonna talk about this current situation at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. Mr. Abu gonna talk more on that, and just his own view as well. A leak audio that is allegedly featuring Abraham Pink as 704 at the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, ordering the release of his daughter after she was caught with drugs. This raises burning questions, serious one. Does this undermine the LSDA fight against drug? How can the public trust an agency that is already fighting, substance abuse, drugs abuse in our country? And is it really true that people say, BB people in the government, it's on the CDA,
Mm.
and it's not there, they in the whole drug situation, they're selling drugs too. So we will listen to the audio.
Yeah,
We have a conversation about this,
yeah,
and
but
listen to you also give your opinion as well as to what you think.
it has been said so many times when some agents came up and said, well, this whole drug business, the big people are the one involved, and some of us in the past, maybe we know or we've heard rumors or some allegations that even within the LGA, that there are some agents that will go and raid and pick up the drugs from one point. Instead of reporting it to their office, they take it and go sell it in another place. And this has been going on. So you can just imagine that many of them, or even the drug dealers, are being covered by the people who are in authority. So this is just an example. This particular guy says that, no, that was not my voice. He said it was an AI, because it looks like AI is becoming an epidemic in Liberia now for all the people who do wrong. They tell you,
Yeah.
I don't know whether the people who did the AI, that's what they really meant, that you can go do your thing, then you say that AI. His voice was there and he kept repeating. Somebody talked to him and he said, no, I didn't say that was my daughter. But the person kept asking the officer, what did she tell you? Didn't she tell you, say that, how did she call me? How did she call me? Didn't she say that? Then I tell you, she's my daughter. Then now somebody asking, he said, no, that was not his daughter. This is a criminal. He has no reason to be in the force. Let's play that clip there.
Okay. Let's take it.
I'm going at you. No, you're not just I'm hearing them. Keep your phone on. I'm going there. Go in there and leave the phone on. If you're saying, oh, I'm not going to the phone. If your command call you, I'm calling, then you pick up my daughter. Go there now. I'm going at you. No, you're not just I'm hearing them. Keep your phone on. I'm going there. Go in there and leave the phone on. If you're saying, oh, I'm not going to the phone. If your command call you, I'm calling, then you pick up my daughter. No, keep your head on. Yeah, don't do that again. When you tell you, Papa will talk to you.
Hello, Daddy.
So I tell the below you over there?
Yeah?
They below you?
Yeah, they feel right.
They still beating you right here?
They feel beating me, Ma. They feel right.
When they beat you, I won't beat you.
I'm not one woman, not too long.
I said 820.
They will get it all up.
But how you just me just now? When you call me, I'll come and we come into the auditorium. My question to you, yeah? How she addressing right now? What she said? She said to my picture was rapping. No, she said, hello, Daddy, is that what she said? Yeah, but let me see who's doing it and I'll see if I'll call you right back. If I get enjoying. You all take off for you now, sir. She's telling you to a smoking gun. Or she was phone in the ghetto? Yeah, Chief, she was in a house with a man. In a few rounds. They were partying when we got there. But one year of you now, I for me saying it, she was one naked there. But the guy had a joint that was time in the market. He put up his distance and fought the officer and took 2 bags from her. One year ago, guy was coming when he saw the man attacking her. I had a joint here, man, and took the man of bag on him. That guy's my daughter. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, sir, Chief. She's my daughter. Your reason for her to her sister, let me bring her home. What? You know what I said? Yeah, and Chief, 1 minute, let me talk to you, sir. Yeah, what you want to say? Chief, they talk 2 hours, my brother. That's all y'all can get later on. Y'all can people when I say, we need my daughter to... Hello. Hello. Yes, hello. Yes, sir. Release out your sister and bring her now to me. No, listen to me. You guys don't let me just say that. I said release out your sister and bring her now. I want to drive the children right now. The man we arrested with the charge, I said release my daughter now. Chief, the man escaped. No, you know what I mean? No. So you cannot release my daughter? What you saying? Chief, you said if somebody can guarantee what people here. They let me do my own official job to guarantee what, Chief. Oh, you talking to me? You talking on the phone? I should give you my away. I come to the children away from me. Wait. You understand what happened around? Hey. I'm driving the case right now. I don't want to fucking see you. I don't want to fucking see you that you didn't want to get there. Talk to you, sir. I don't want to fucking see you until you didn't want to get there right now. And all of you, they tell me that I'm doing my job. I give you to do your job. No. Why? You talk to me on the phone? The 2 years guarantee what? That would do a guarantee. No, can't get. You're telling me I should give you chance to do your job. I mean, you're supposed to on the phone right now. I said the two come guarantee what? A year. The 2 already year. So that would do it. Okay. Let me say something so you can understand. Yes, sir. Uriah is the one who sent your telephone number to me. I want to see you in my office tomorrow morning. You telling me to give you a chance to do your job? No, I don't want you to for me. You might ask my people what happened. Hey, you ordering me to give you a chance to do your job? Chief, I said, the problem here is get from the year. I think your job. I said, my dad, my children. I'm telling you, they telling me, say, give me a chance to do my job. Right? I'm driving the Cherry's bread. I'm driving, no. I'm driving the Cherry's bread. Now you are talking to a people authority and give me chance. Not you. I didn't hear it, no. What are people talking?
A lot of intimidation from people at the top.
Yes, we want to talk to you outside there. If you listen to this thing, that recording, I want us to discuss it. Call our number 231-778-701381, 231-886-563-652. We want to talk about it.
All these numbers are on WhatsApp as well. You can also
on WhatsApp. You can just call those numbers. We just want to talk a little about this guy who calls himself Major Abraham Okai Pin, Chief of Operations of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency. He has no reason to be there. I even heard that this guy was fired before, and when Ebi Kroma came back, he brought him back in. Ebi Kroma is the one who brought this stroke into this system. He was involved in similar thing before, and they brought him back into the team and gave him that high position. He has no reason to be there. Why can you be a security officer intimidating your junior for something that you know you are doing wrongly? Leaving the main issue that people were arrested and they were told where the officer is supposed to arrest the culprits and bring them forward. Then you say he should immediately leave the girl or this female person. You say that is your daughter. A journalist did speak to him, and he said he tried to evade the situation. He is a crook. And he said what he told the journalist is that this thing we are hearing is an AI. And in fact, what they are talking about, the incident they're talking about, did happen since March this year. And this is just something that happened. Then in the end, he started denying that he never said that the girl was his daughter. He forgot that he had already told, he was trying to intimidate the agent by asking the agent, what did the woman tell you? What did he tell you? What did she tell you? Why was she telling you? You know, the officer trying to explain, he said, no, I want you to tell me, how did she refer to me? How did she refer to me? When I called, she said, yes, daddy. That means you are his daddy. He must release the girl over to her sister and let them come over to the office. Is that the kind of work you're doing? You need to be fired and persecuted immediately and have no reason to be near any security force in Liberia because you are compromising every little thing of the efforts of this government. You're not supposed to even go back to your house today. Bill, did you get the release from the LDEA to what
Uh,
action was taken?
let me get the release from LDA and
Yeah, I want us to read that release. Let's see what they're really doing to him. You know,
yeah,
why
let me
can he be? Why will he be intimidating his junior officer? You know, using the F word on his junior officer, just like the junior officer lives with him. And this is too much in all of the security agencies in Liberia. I think Gregory Coleman and our chief of staff and the justice minister should be able to come out with some things. You have to respect the junior officer. You're not the only one. You are working. They have
and
families just like you.
I think we also have to find time and talk to the PR again about this situation from the LDA. So let me just bring the release quickly. It says for immediate release, LDA suspends Chief of Operation Abraham Opin U704. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, LDA, Honorable Anthony K. So has suspended Chief of Operation Abraham Opin Unit 704 following the emergency of an audio recording allegedly implicating him instructing the release of his daughter who was reportedly arrested in Ogeto. In the recording, Mr. Pin was allegedly heard ordering a junior officer to release his daughter immediately and further threatening the officer when he insists on performing his duty. The LDA frowns upon such alleged actions, which, if proven, undermine the integrity of the agency and compromise the fight against illicit drugs. As such, Mr. Payne has been immediately suspended and referred to the Board of Internal Inquiry and Professional Standards for a thorough investigation. The outcome of the investigation will be communicated to the public in due time. The LDA reiterates its zero tolerance policies on professional and unethical conduct and assures the public that no officer, regardless of position or rank, is spared when caught in any unprofessional conduct. Signed by the public relation officer of the LDA. So and it just make the public such a thing make the public to actually believe that the fight against drug is a serious fight that all of us needs to take seriously. And again, most of these guys that are in the force, the LDA, are not doing things the right way in order for us to be able to combat the fight against drugs. Because you cannot be a law enforcer and trying to break the law because your family is caught in the act. It's almost like a similar thing with journalism. You, as a reporter, and you have your family member in a situation, you want to cover up that story because it's your family member. It would
Yes.
not mean well for you as a person or career person or professional person, and you as a law enforcer that should be fighting drug now is ordering the release of your daughter that was caught in an act of illicit drugs situation, and even using words on the officer, threatening to take his job away. It shows that if this individual is home, then I think the LDA and the government of Liberia is not doing well. He should be behind bars while waiting to properly undergo investigation. And if proven, I think he should have some harsh, strong, and serious penalties for this, because we all see how young people are falling prey to drug. We see how young people are falling prey to these substances. And Mr. Abua tells you for free that these officers do not go after the people who bring these substances in the country. They're always running beyond the user, people that are falling prey, that are victims of the substances. And they know fully well these people that are bringing in the drugs. They have these with these people. They have these with these people. They have these
Yes,
with
you,
people.
you you are saying the right thing. you know, even in some of the times when they tried to investigate him, I mean, it was clear that he told people that he's not connected to the lady that he was trying to release. That was not his daughter, you know. So this means this is what he does. He makes it to look like he has a biological connection with these people. Every drug peddler or every drug importer, he has a connection to them because that's what he will feel and say, oh, that's my brother. Oh, that's my son. Look, that Mr. I don't even want to call him that Mr. Payne needs to be behind bar now. And as of now, there's something also I noticed that he has been turned over to be investigated by professional standards. I think I would want to recommend to government that this thing, especially compromising the security of the country, I think the president should be able, or the Minister of Justice, who's the head for law enforcement, should be able to organize or to appoint an independent board of inquiry that will cover police, immigration, maybe the army is out, the immigration and law, LDEA. That should be it. Because this man is going to be the people for professional standards are all people who may be below his rank. That sometimes he will say, oh, we need to elevate my rank before I'll be able to investigate this man. Yeah. You understand what I mean? So we need to have a professional standard office at the Ministry of Justice. So when a policeman does something that is compromising professionalism, he should be referred to that place. And if an LGA man does it, let him be referred to it. Those will be independent people that will be able to investigate these people, you know. But by just putting him in there, sometimes there are biases. Sometimes sometimes the flair and the emotions that come with it. Sometimes the person may not be liable to some of those things that they hold him for. But if we have an independent group that is investigating these things, you see it, you know, because we have seen places, professional standards where there is public outcry within even the police. Police people are doing some things, and sometimes they say, oh, we'll refer it to professional standards. But the professional standards is being dictated to by the chief of police. He dictates to them because as long as the professional standards know that the chief of police is very interested in a case and he is upset about what that police is accused of, they definitely will give that person, something for a negative case. Okay, it's the same way with immigration. As long as it is something that has already hit the social media that is embarrassing the police, definitely when it goes into the professional standard within the police or within immigration, they will already prosecute you before they even start investigating. So these are the things that I feel that there should be a Bureau of Professional Standards within the Ministry of Justice. That when you do these things, that's where you are referred to, that they refer you there for an investigation. But why would this man be the one? If he has not done it before, it means that he has always been doing it. From my records here, they said this is not the first time Payne's name has surfaced controversy. During the previous administration, he and others were investigated in the Liberian National Police following allegations of misconduct during raids. That is misconduct. They beat people when they had no reason to beat the people. Sometimes they go for the drug, they lead a drug and start looting the people places. This man standing here, he looks like a criminal, you know. Then they say they were accused of looting and other dubious practices. Following a Ministry of Justice inquiry, Payne and his associates were dismissed from the LGEA. Where did he come from to come back? So it's written further. However, under the leadership of Abraham Kromah, Payne was reinstated and assigned major responsibilities at the agency. After Kromah's departure, Christopher Peters briefly served as officer in charge, but given the criminal nature of the matter, the guys were forwarded to the LNP for investigation. When the current Director of General, Anthony Source, How do we know he may not even be his colleague? Assumed office. He also declined to revisit Payne's past allegation. Instead, so chose to continue working with Payne, saying that he had a good working relationship with Payne. What is the good working relationship between Payne and So? Are they doing the same thing? And is he being caught with Payne's tongue at this time that Payne has done something that he was recorded? He has been sharing he may have been sharing the booty with Payne. That's what makes Payne very brave to do those things. Intimidating a junior officer.
And Mr. Abu, one thing I can say with all of the records you've read, it shows that some of the things that were said behind closed door by a former DA boss, former fired DA boss, dismissed DA boss Ibrahim Kurma, it shows exactly true to what people said behind closed door, that these guys were fully involved into the sales of drugs, knowing people that bring in these substances. Because if you have somebody who had problem before in a particular law enforcement agency under the government, and then you get to a higher rank, bringing back said individual with such a bad record, it shows that you know that, yeah, the man is good at doing certain thing for me. I definitely have to bring a man to continue doing what he knows how to do best for me. And I don't see any reason, or I don't see why people will be happy that young people, the youthful generation in this country, are dying slowly from the issue of drug. Till everybody have to join the fight. Community leaders, community members have to raid ghettos just because they don't want a lot of criminals, a lot of drug users to get worse. They start to raid ghettos. And then you have a situation from somebody who is below your rank. Then you calling, ordering the individual to release the person. However way you want it, it should be done. Because Liberia now is a country of no rule, no law, no order. So you do what you want. You're not under any jurisdiction of any entity. You do what you want. Are you ruling the country? You call the president and say, yeah, free that person. They control for me. Free the other person. They control for me. And that drugs, yeah. You saw it, yeah. Oh no, she was smoking it. Free her. She was not selling it. What it says, the fact that you were caught using the substance that is illegal to be used in Liberia, is a crime already. And it's not bailable. The new drug law, the reverse drug law, is not bailable. So why will you say you need her to be released, blah, 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 and at the end of the day, you're coming out to say the audio is an AI when you kept repeating, how did she call me? How did she call me? The officers tried to bypass that. You kept asking, how did she call me? Didn't you hear her calling me that? Liberia is actually an interesting country.
No, the LGA director needs to be investigated, because he cannot tell me that this is the first report that he has had on his pin. After the thing surfaced yesterday, I spoke to few LGA officers that I know in Liberia, and they all say they are waiting to see what will happen to this man, because he has always been doing it. He intimidates other officers. He needs to be stripped of his uniform to remain in his boxer and go among the same drug people that he arrested before, those he wanted to put in jail, because there were some he will arrest and he freed them up. And I'm just worried if the sole director was not part of the thing. Because how can you know the nature of that kind of person, the criminality involved that is involved in, then you decide to bring him back. After the entire country have seen your work, it's an honorable work, because our children are dying. Our relatives are going out of school because of these drugs. The president came on. The president that appointed you came on and said, we must say no to drugs. And everybody is getting involved. Communities are making enemies just to enhance your work, just to make your work easy for you. They are helping you to identify the sellers. They are helping you to identify the users. Communities beating some people off, arresting people and turning them over to you, not knowing that you are just in the corner.
Mr. Abu, what a community make no sense.
The other day,
what a community doing is not important.
The entire country, this process been going on in Nimba, in Grand Chile, and everywhere around the country. Everybody is tired with the drug business. But this, you are the beginning. We are going up the ladder. We'll get to know who the people at the top, who are covering the people who bring in it. No matter where you are, we see you will disgrace you. This is not about building roads. It's about destroying the minds of our people, destroying the minds of our youth. You standing people, you call them Zogo. I don't even know where they came down with this name. They call it a disadvantage youth. Where is the disadvantage coming from? When people like Major, how to call it, Payne, Abraham Payne is around the corner selling drugs. Then he's in a force that's supposed to be leading the group that will stop drug sales. He needs to be disrobed, and even so needs to be investigated whether this is the first time and how come. What is the work ethics of this man? You don't take time. He was sitting there in another ghetto, commanding the man, and he did not even care. The man said, they have beaten us. They came, they jumped on us. They beat us. They seized our motorbikes. They seized our badges and this and that. He didn't care for that. All he had to say, release the girl to her sister. That's all. Your interest? Is that how you go into government? That junior officer, he went to the training base, came out determined to do his work, to help his family, to help the country. You know?
They say 99 days for rule. You know, like you will have to do certain thing over and again, and once God move from behind you, you get exposed.
Yes, intimidating officers. That is my base. You know, these are the people, when the officers are going to do a raid, they'll take their phone and inform the people. It's an informer inside the police. I mean, inside the LGA. That is him there. That's what they do. Many of them are sitting now. They know the operation of the agents. The agents say, "Oh, we're going to Newcroton today." They will call their counterparts in Newcroton and tell them, "Oh, if you get it in this place, please move it from there, move it here, because the agents are coming there today." So it made the fighting against drugs very difficult until this say no to drug thing came, and everybody who is tired with it and gave the thing. They all accepted it and got in the street, marching in the rain, to make sure that these guys who stand in the street corners, their eyes closed, they're bending down and waking up, they're zombies. You know, then they had this man in the force, sitting in a comfortable government office with walkie-talkie, with gun, with badge, enjoying himself, calling people. And he sits down in that office, they bring money to him as he is. He did not even care. How will you be a senior officer? You don't care when your junior officer has told you that the people beat us, they took our this, they took our that. All you are doing, I'm coming to that Carisburg. I'm coming to that Carisburg. I'm coming to that Carisburg. How can you be coming to the Carisburg how can you be coming to the Carisburg? You're not going there to save your officer. You are going there to reprimand him because your interest is there and he did not want to compromise your interest. How can you do that? That man needs to go to jail for good. He needs to go to jail. You know, Because you, as the high-ranking officer, the officers assigned under you, their welfare depends on you, their safety depends on you. You don't send them into risky terrains. The guys went into a risky terrain and the people jump on them. Well, just to close, I just want to say thank you for listening tonight. This is Waste TV. And my final part thing is I ask on the government, the Ministry of Justice, to please set up a bureau to investigate professionalism within the forces that are under the Ministry of Justice. Immigration, LGA, and the police. That should be an independent group. Not necessarily police have to investigate police. LGA investigate LGA. Immigration investigate immigration. No. Let there be a middle group, which is an independent group, either sanctioned by the government, by the president, that they all, when you are in professional misconduct, you should be sent to that place for investigation, and we be sure that whatever comes out of there will be very good. So I want to thank you for listening tonight. In coming days, we'll also be looking at, we'll still want to go back to the educational system. We want to look at what is happening. Many students still failing the national exam or the WASC exam, and why many students are still failing the UL entrance. We want to talk to you. If you're a principal, you can call us. Our number is on there. Let's talk to you. We can invite you. A principal for private school, a public school, an educational institution. We want to talk to you. People from WAEC or WAEC, we want to talk to you. We want to see what is the problem. We got to solve the problem. If you, all of you know this arrest agenda, arrest, E is for education. President Boakai is not ready to leave Liberia with half-baked, educated people. What can we do to put that up? He did not come to make Liberia the business as usual.
No more business as usual, Mr. Abu.
Yes, we want to see our students passing the national exam, that they can leave from over there and carry the result to attend Achimota College and attend the different universities. The MCSS superintendent said he's having a memorandum of understanding that teachers will be sent to Gala University and Forever University in Sierra Leone to go and take teacher training there. I don't know why he wants to send them there instead of sponsoring them to the University of Liberia. You know. In the meantime, we just want to say thank you for listening. My name is Samuel Abu. We'll be back here on Thursday, beginning at 10 o'clock Liberian time and 6 o'clock United States time, Eastern time. Thank you so much for really listening. Bill, thank you for hosting me, and we look forward to having a good discussion on Thursday. And as usual, we'll come on. We look forward to you helping us, bring us your ideas, and let's talk about it. This is Liberia, and Liberia has to remain for Liberians. Thank you.
Definitely. So thank you, Mr. Abu, for coming on tonight. We'd like to say thanks to Mr. Archibald Dwa. You also serve as our panelist, our guest, and we talk about issues surrounding the educational system in Liberia. On Thursday, we hoping to have another panelist who also talk about the recent CDC eviction process. They are formerly 20 plus years headquartered in Congoton. So Mr. C will be talking more about that. We hoping to have him on, and also later on we can dive into other discussions once the need arises. Until Thursday, this week, Thursday, we will also be on here, like Mr. Abu said, 10 p.m. Liberia time and 6 p.m. the Eastern time in the U.S. Until then, my name is William McGill. Have a pleasant good evening from Liberia.